We have the overflow to the Coralville flood control mitigation wetland. The TRM was flipped back because it was installed improperly. The water was catching the upstream edge and flipping it over. So this is our main channel into the wetland, and during high flow events it bypasses the wetland to follow the berm down to Clear Creek. And what we have done to repair it is at the upstream end we trenched out a 6 to 8 inch deep trench, filled it with, put the TRM in there and filled it with soil and rocks, and then moved some sedges in to help. And then we trenched down the west side length, again a 6 by 6 trench, all the way down to the end. Pulled the TRM back, cleaned it off, removed the stakes, put the TRM in, cut off the extra fabric. There was about 3 feet of extra fabric that had been folded over and staked in. We just trimmed that off and trenched it in, filled it with dirt, and you can see there's kind of a low spot in the channel here, partly because of sediment, siltation, and sand from water flows creating a high spot, and we didn't want the water to channel right over the top of our trenched in, keyed in fabric. So where it's keyed in on this low spot, we threw some rock in there to keep it from scouring and to kind of push the water more towards the center of the fabric area. Once vegetation comes up, this shouldn't be an issue. Again, the fabric was installed improperly, and the seam, there was 2 sheets of fabric, and the right is the upstream, and the seam was such that the upstream fabric was underneath the downstream fabric, causing the stream to flip the fabric over, both where it was overlapped and where it was not keyed in, where it should have been keyed in. So what we had to do is cut a slit in the fabric to change the overlap. So up to this point, the downstream fabric is overlapping the upstream fabric, and then from this point forward, the upstream fabric overlaps the downstream. And I call it the upstream fabric because the flows are coming from the west side. So during a high water event, you're going to have water cutting across this way and catching that edge. This is designed so that during high water events, this entire riprap berm just gets overflowed, and this channel was put in for medium level flows, whereas the low flow continues into the wetland and keeps the wetland wet.